All right, guys, we're in lesson 16.3 and we are multiplying matrices. Some tough stuff, but we're going to get through it together. And the great news is we do have a way to do this on our TI-84. So the first thing we're going to do is look at lesson 16.3. We have matrix multiplication, and our essential question is, can you multiply matrices? After today, you will be able to. All right, the first thing we're going to look at is, in example 1, we have to know the dimensions of a matrix. Remember that we're doing rows by columns, and this is easy because it's a 2 by 2, and rows, 2 rows, by 1 column. So when we're multiplying, if I have a 2 by 2 and a 2 by 2, a 2 by 2 and a 2 by 1, I know they can multiply if these inner numbers are the same. And you'll see why that works. I also know that these outer numbers are going to be the new dimension. So I know that when I multiply this 2 by 2 by a 2 by 1, I'm going to end up with 2 rows and 1 column. Notice I'm making that extremely large. So the first matrix is always going to be your row matrix. Your second matrix will always be your column matrix. So the first thing we're going to do is go row by column. And here's what we do. I'm going to highlight a little. We are going to multiply 1 by 3. And I'm going to write all of this out. Oops, if I get off of my highlighter. I'm going to multiply 1 by 3 and add it to, and now we're going to multiply, we're going to multiply by -1 and +2. -1 and +2. So we're just going row by column. And now we're going to head down to the next row by column. I guess I need to erase all of this. There we go. Okay, so now we finished. Notice right here we finished row 1, column 1. All right, so now we're going to move to row 2, column 1. Row 2, column 1, let's multiply and add. So remember, we're taking 2 times 3, and we're adding that to 5 times 2. So we're literally going across the rows and down the columns. And you just multiply. I wish I was in person with you so I could show you first, second. So we are almost done. It's not as hard as it looks. It just is confusing, so I'm going to post maybe an easier video, or maybe I'll do a live video so you can see. This is saying 3 plus -2, and this is saying 6 plus 10. So my answer is 1 and 16 in a 2 row by 1 matrix. Whew. Now, the good news is we do have this great stuff in a calculator. So let's look at the next one. I love when they throw these questions in here. Remember, the first thing we always want to observe is this is a 2 by 1, and this is a 2 by 2. Remember, in order to multiply these inner ones need to match. Well, I have a 1 and a 2. So guess what? This cannot be multiplied. How you doing? All right, moving on. Well, this one sure looks fun. Example 3. Let's first write down what we need to know. I know this is a 3 by 2, 3 rows by 2 columns, and I'm multiplying it by a 2 by 3. So I know that we're going to end up with a 3 by 3. I'm going to take rid of this so I can go ahead and write out my 3 by 3. And again, I just write out 3 by 3. And I'm obviously starting to squish. So again, we are doing first row by first column. So stick with me. Here is what we're multiplying. 0 times 1 is 0. 2, I forgot to switch, sorry. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. Well, that's only row 1, column 1, which makes sense because right here, this is row 1, column 1. So you can either go to row 1, column 2, which is where I go, row 1, column 2. So I'm going to do 0. I keep doing this, I'm sorry. I'm going to go to 0 times negative 5. Well, 0 times negative 5 is 0. And my next, I have 2 times 0. Hey, that's a 0 as well. All right, moving on. Row 1, column 3. Okay, I'm going to just erase all this good stuff so you can see. I'm on row 1, column 3. 0 times 4 is 0. We're adding that to 2 times negative 6, which is negative 12. We'll deal with the rest in a minute. We're done with row 1. Let's move down to row 2. Here's row 2. Row 2, column 1. I'm going to go a little bit faster. Negative 2 and 1 is negative 2. 4 and negative 2 is negative 8. Row 1, column 2. Well, this is column 2 right here. Negative 2 times negative 5 is 10. 4 times 0 is 0. I love those zeros. It makes it so easy. Row 2, column 3. So I have negative 2 times 4 is 8. 4 times negative 6 is negative 24. We'll add at the end. Let's get there at the end. I'm going to erase so you guys have this all color-coded. And we're feeling good. All right. The last one is going to be row 3, column 1, which goes right here in row 3, column 1. Well, let's do it. 3 times 1 is 3. 1 and negative 2 is negative 2. Row 3, column 2. Row 3, column 2. 3 times negative 5 is negative 15. 1 and 0. Love those zeros. And the last one, row 3, column 3, is going to give us 3 times 4 is 12, and 1 and negative 6 is negative 6. So let's go ahead and add this all together right here. And I know this is going to be a 3 by 3. Well, here, 0 and negative 4 is negative 4. 0 and 0 is 0. 0 and negative 12 is negative 12. Negative 2, negative 8 is negative 10. 10 and 0 is 10. 8 and negative 24 is negative 16. 3 and negative 2 is 1. Negative 15 and 0 is negative 15. And 12 and negative 6 is 6. So I'm going to post probably a video. Well, I know I'm going to post a video on how to do this on your calculator. And then I'm going to post a video on maybe more a visual video on how to do this. All right, great job, Algebra 2.